I'm speaking to Werner Herzog, who is the director of two films at the Toronto International Film Festival this year. One of them is called Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, and it stars Nicolas Cage. And the other is My Son, What Have You Done, which stars Michael Shannon. Now, Mr. Herzog, I thought we could speak first about My Son, which is quite a fascinating. I think you've called it a horror film without the bloodshed and the chainsaws.
You mentioned that, yes.
And I understand it's actually based on a real case about 30 years ago.
Yes, it's based on a bizarre murder case which happened around the staging of an ancient Greek tragedy where the leading character has to murder his mother, who in turn has murdered his father, the Oresteia. And of course it was a very, very fascinating, very dark, very scary sort of story, but of course the film never comes in its horror or in its dark abyss at you with a bloody axe and scares you.
Right.
You never know where the fear comes creeping up at you. It's like an anonymous fear creeping up at you, and that's what I like about the film.
Right. Well, I understand that you had actually spoken with the real man, the murderer on which this film is based.
Well, the real murderer was declared unfit to stand trial for reasons of insanity, and he was locked away in a maximum security mental institution for 8.5 years, and then released as being sane. The reason why he was declared sane was probably more the reason that he did not pose a threat to society in general, because his crime was so much focused against his own mother that a panel of psychiatrists decided we let him go, and I met the man, and he was not really sane yet. He still looked kind of dangerous, and I decided immediately I would not maintain this contact anymore.
Right.
He actually died meanwhile.
Right. Well, you've sort of had a history of making films about madmen and men with obsessions. I'm thinking of everything from Aguirre right up to Grizzly Man a few years ago. Is this sort of a legitimate obsession of your own or fascination?
No, I have no obsessions. I'm a professional man. I'm a storyteller.
Right.
And people sometimes deduct, because I make a film about a madman, that he who made the film must be insane himself. No, I can affirm and I can maintain with great ease that I'm probably the only clinically sane person in Toronto at the moment.
Well,
But of course, characters at the edge have sometimes fascinated me in my storytelling.
Right. Well, certainly that describes Nicolas Cage in Bad Lieutenant. He's certainly on the edge. I have to say it's quite a surprising film if you don't know what to expect. The first little while I felt we were watching a sort of standard crime thriller, sort of police procedural, but I guess when the iguana starts singing, at that point you realize we're in the world of Werner Herzog and not the standard cop drama.
Of course, these scenes like the dancing soul or the iguanas were not in the screenplay, and I somehow brought them up. And I think it's part of my profession. Yes, you have to bring life onto a set. You have to be imaginative. You have to go beyond the screenplays quite often to bring some fascination into it. And I knew the audience would understand it. Everybody who's seen the film talks about it now.
Right.
And I sensed there was something big.
Now,
I even filmed the iguanas myself.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
With a tiny little lens and a fiber optic cable, and I had to move only millimeters away from their skin and then move to their eyes, and I would stare at the lens with in a totally perplexed way, and I knew there would be something coming across to an audience.
Right.
Something demented.
Well, just one last question. I know there's been some controversy over Bad Lieutenant and whether or not this was meant to be a remake of the Abel Ferrara film.
Oh
I
no, there's
understand
no
that.
controversy.
No.
There was some sort of a hint of a controversy before anyone had seen my film. Now everybody knows that two films have nothing to do with each other. It's only that one of the producers owned the rights to the title, and they had hoped to start some sort of a franchise, and I was never happy with the title and fought against it from the first moment because I knew it would create misunderstandings. But now, since my film is out, everybody knows it has nothing to do with any other film.
Right, right. What's your next project coming up?
Oh, let's not talk about it. There's 5, 6
5 or
films
6?
pushing at me. They come like burglars in the night.
Good. Well, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Mr. Herzog. It's a pleasure talking to you.